What's going on, family? This is not financial advice. Do your own research, man. We're gonna be going over the stocks to watch this week, man. Check these out. You're gonna want to see this. All right, the first one I got on the list is Meta. So big Meta. Then we got Microsoft, and then we got Google. Microsoft, Google, Meta, and one of my favorites. I'm gonna check out Nvidia. I really like NVIDIA because the volume is nice. We'll get to that chart, say the chart for last. So I'm going to tell you why I particularly like these. I'm going to show you this video real quick, and we're going to get to the charts.
Going head to head over the future of AI, Microsoft announcing earlier this afternoon the integration of ChatGPT into a search engine, and then Google is scheduled to hold an event on chat and AI, their own plans tomorrow. So who's going to come out on top? Yahoo Finance tech reporter Ali Garfinkel joining us. Ali, what did you think of the announcement that we've gotten from Microsoft today?
I actually want to play a little bit of a game with you guys, Shauna.
You like games?
You like games? Okay, so I'm going to lay out the pros and cons of who's going to win here, Microsoft or Google, and you guys are going to choose your fighter. Does that sound good?
Got it. Good.
So on Google's hand, right, before we get to Microsoft, it's important to say that Google has already announced its ChatGPT competitor. It's called Bard, and it's important that if search is the goal here, Google is still absolutely the dominant leader in search. Google has a search linguistic advantage. We don't say we're searching for something, we say we're Googling something. However, Google is already seen as behind on this. I had a source text me this morning saying Bard screams, "We rushed." And I think there's a lot of pressure on Bard to be excellent. And if it doesn't surpass ChatGPT or is at least not as good, it's going to look pretty rough on them. So that's the case for and against Google. Now, the case for Microsoft. Microsoft is absolutely seen as having a head start here because of their longstanding investment in OpenAI and the fact that they've now already announced this Bing integration. I also think that ChatGPT right now has a linguistic advantage in generative AI, right? We're saying ChatGPT, not generative AI, right? I also think that the world of applications that Microsoft can plug ChatGPT into are pretty obvious. You have the 365, you have Azure, and while Google has that, it's not as well set up of an ecosystem. Now the cons, right? If search is the goal, Bing only has 9% of the search market right now, so which puts Microsoft way behind. And it's also not really clear how much Microsoft's head start will matter. Okay,
So as you know, AI is a big deal right now. GPT is a big deal right now. Everybody is investing in it. As you see now, the big dogs are getting involved and they want a piece of the pie. So these companies are getting a head start on these, which means it's going to be big in the next 5 to 10 years. So they're obviously getting a start on it early because they believe in it. So we're going to get to Microsoft. Obviously, this is one of the bangers in the market, one of the best stocks overall. And as you can see there in the clear downtrend, they broke this downtrend. And I like um, Microsoft to the upside continuation. As you know, we had the Fed talking today. So everything turned green, everything turned around and rallied. So I'm looking for continuation on these plays. If we can hold above the current price is 267. We can break above 269 and push up. I'm expecting a strong push up to first target will be 275 and then 278, somewhere in that area, because there's strong resistance in that zone from 278, 275 to 270. It's definitely strong resistance. It have a gap up here. Don't forget about this gap up here and the 50% retracement up here at 281. So Microsoft, I'm looking for a continuation play. And then we got the other big dog, which is Google. So, Google is one of the best stocks in the market as well. Great track record, plenty of longevity. That's why I like this stock in particular. If they hold above, as you can see, they gapped up. So if they can break above 108, they are pushing straight up to the gap fill at 110. They're pushing straight up to it to fill the gap. Look like the gap is actually at 109, but they can push up to 110. So if we see a break 110, the next resistance is possibly 111. And if they just push straight on through this zone, we're going all the way back up, somewhere up here to the 114 to 115 area. And that's continuation play on Google. I like both of these. I will be watching these tomorrow for continuation. And then I have this Meta chart. Meta, the same thing, gapped up, consolidated. I'm looking for a break and a hold above 197. If we can break 197, they're going to push straight on up to first target will be 200. The next target is 204. If they continue, the next target is 209 to 210, somewhere now. We got a huge gap up here on Meta, so don't forget these gaps get filled. So this is a nice bottoming pattern. They are going sideways right now, so there is another gap up here, 230. But this gap will get filled. So if you're looking to check out Meta, it would be a good time to look because it's a huge gap up here. Do your research before you buy. So the last play I would be watching, I really like, is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has great volume on it. I really like the continuation play. I'm looking for a hold above 222, 223, and a push straight up into the gap at 230. So I'm looking for, they could potentially slow down up here at 225, but initially I'm looking for the gap fill at 230. These are the plays that I'm watching. I really like all these plays, man. I will be watching all of them. I have alerts on each and every one of them. And you know, I gotta watch the SPY because that will determine where this market is going. So hopefully this is not a bull trap and we get an easy continuation and hopefully a trend day tomorrow. But we'll see. Who knows? We'll just take what the market gives us. I'm gonna kind of zoom in so we can see this a little better. So as you can see, we got this. They came back, bounced off that critical support level. They're looking real strong. Big bullish candle came in with volume. I'm looking for a break above this 216 area. 216, they clear that. They're pushing straight up to the first target is 420 on the SPY. And the gap fill is up above that at 421. 421 looks like. And then right on up to 4,300 is the next target. So obviously the market wants to go up, wants to get some of these shorts out, squeeze these folks out, everybody who's holding on to these short positions. So we do have the gaps up here. Okay, so we got the gap at 42.19. Then it's another gap up here at 42.83. And in the critical zone is 618 at 43. What is that? 43.15. So 4,300 zone, it looks like where the market wants to go. Potential turnaround area, critical resistance, fib level, and the market is just aggressively pushing higher. So I pretty much am looking for continuation plays, break above 41.82. We can break that zone, that level. We're pushing straight on up to 4,200 within the early morning session, possibly a pullback, then a spike on up to 4,200. We might react off that zone. Well, I'm not going to say might. We will react off that 4,200 zone. But if they get aggressive, we're pushing straight through it on up to 42.21. So that's about a 20-point gap. So they could easily push straight on through that up to the gap. And then they could possibly turn down from there. But we are in this golden pocket. So pay attention to this level between the 50 and the 618. Anywhere in between here, we can have a nice push down or correction. We are still overextended. As you can see, all the moving averages are down here. We're way outside of everything. We're pushing straight up, and we've never came back to touch this trend line. So that's another thing. We overshot the trend line. We never came back down to test it to see if this trend line is legit. So never came back to test it. Everything's pointing to the upside. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hit like, subscribe, man. You can get in on these trades if you like. We got the Discord. We got a group, a few traders, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.